I'm on my way to the gym and I figure I got a few minutes, so let me go ahead and hit this real quick. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We are reviewing The Real Housewives of Potomac, season number 3, episode number 15, Turmoil in France. If it's your first time visiting my channel, what up, though? Go ahead, click that red subscribe button to be a ray of sunshine. And everybody has clicked that notification bell so you know when I'm uploading a new video. Yes? Good. One of y'all last week had said these girls can't possibly be real friends because they go for the jugular on shit that is off limits, like my husband wanting to fuck some other bitch. Like, I'm with her. Indeed. I want to say it was Michelle, but I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, so we pick up right where we left off last episode. Them yelling and screaming in the goddamn lobby with a T. Way in France. In Cannes, France. You're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing us all. Nonetheless, they separate and Giselle stays in the lobby and waits for Robin while the rest of the girls get on the van to go to the distillery to look at the essential oils being created. Well, on the van, the ladies start bringing it up, wondering what happened. How did you guys end up arguing in such a manner? Who started what and why would she say that about Ray? And Karen pretty much dismisses the whole thing. It's not worth any of my time. Giselle does not get any of the breath that I breathe to discuss any of this foolishness. Okay, Karen, kudos to you. But really, is it because you know it's true? Girl, you know it's true. Anyway, so it looks like the ladies on the van are getting along very well. And they're all pretty excited about attending the event at the distillery. Well, when they get there, honey, Monique comes for Ashley and she asks her, so why didn't you go with your new booze, Giselle and Robin? What are you here for? I thought y'all been hanging real tight lately. Are you a spy? I do like Ashley quite a bit because Ashley said, listen, don't come for me. I'm grown. I go and do what the fuck I want to do. I hang out with whom I want to hang out with. And right now, I wanted to come and see about the essential oils. This is pretty much the event that you planned for us. So that's what I'm doing. Like, boom, bitch. Why you trying to be messy and start some shit? Monique, I see you, girl. You being real messy. So they have a good time. They see about how the essential oils work out, how the essential oils are made. And then they go and they meet up with Giselle and Robin. But before we start talking about that, Robin comes out of her room and Giselle is like, finally, it's been like 35 minutes I've been waiting on you. And she's like, where is everybody? And she said, they left. They didn't want to wait on you. Ooh, Giselle, girl, is you lying already? Child, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You should have said I sent them on their way because they were willing to wait. We all know that they were willing to wait. Nonetheless, Robin just brushes it off. Giselle, who knew she should have had some flats on to begin with because she knew she was going to be walking around, goes to get her flats. They go out to the beach. They go and get a crepe because they are in France and don't speak the fucking language. So they don't know that the lady is saying, I'm going to the kitchen to make you the crepe. I can't make it in here. I'm going to make it in the kitchen. They want a chocolate and banana crepe. Talking about she owe us the money. You know, hold on, ho. Hold on, relax. Because listen, you the one came there not knowing no French. You the one who went to a vendor who probably only speaks French instead of like a restaurant where they have someone that may speak your native tongue. That's your fault. Nonetheless, the woman comes back and they go and they sit on the bench and they eat the crepe. Split it in half and they eat the crepe. That's what you do when you want to be healthy, ladies. Don't eat the whole fucking crepe like I would. Honey, I'm on vacation. I'm going to eat the crepe. The whole crepe. Get your own. Nonetheless, they began to talk because Giselle needs to fill Robin in on the shenanigans that had occurred with Karen. And again, she revisits that the ladies left her, but that nobody wanted to wait for her. And you know they rolled that tape back on her ass like, oh, they didn't? Oh, they didn't. Charisse, Monique, everybody said, we'll just wait on her. We'll just wait on her. That would be the right thing to do. And so she begins to tell her side of the story of the issue with Karen, and tells her how, you know, she feels like she keeps coming for her business and talking about her business partners. And, you know, she really put blood, sweat, and tears into this business. And every time she mentions it, it makes me go for the fucking jugular. I can see that happening. So now they all meet up. And when they meet up, Robin, first thing out of her mouth is, so why y'all didn't wait on me? Y'all didn't want to wait for me? And honey, Giselle gets caught in her web of lies. And they all say, no, we were going to wait. We said we would wait, but Giselle said, go on. It's okay. And so Giselle was like, well, shit, yeah, okay. In her confessional, okay, well, I lied. I wanted to spend time with Robin by myself. No, you just wanted to be messy, Giselle. You know you could have waited. You really didn't want to go to the distillery. And we know that Monique was upset about it because she was like, you could have time to do your own thing later. But Giselle was, you know, she just don't want to play fair. I still like her, y'all. She just don't want to play fair. And somebody had said that she was looking old, that she looked old. I was looking at her, and maybe she do look a little old. Maybe her little turkey neck is starting to hang just a little bit. Starting to age her just a tad bit. So now they are headed to Grass to go check out the perfumery to see how perfume is made. And what we find out, though, is that Candace has a resume. See, Candace has only been talking about her beauty pageant days, but we see that she's actually got some brilliance behind her and see that she worked with the Obama administration. Like, I was like, well, why aren't you guys playing this part of her up more? Like, it's making her look like she is just a princess with no fucking substance behind her, but she definitely has a resume. So I was like, all right, Candace, but we should have known because she speaks eloquently and not because she's a pageant girl, but because she is an intellectual. Well, they all speak well. Anyway, in the perfumery or the perfume store, this lady makes her own perfume on site. Karen and Giselle can only get along for a short period of time because they were doing fine, being very cordial, which is all people ask. And then we got to the perfumery and we saw that Giselle went to picking at Karen again because the lady had a perfume, some type of machine that helped to make the perfume, and it cost 3,000 euros. And they were like, get that. You can have the perfume in your home and blah, blah, blah. Like, really nitpicking. And we know that Karen wants her scent to be on mass distribution. And she went on to explain that she wanted it on mass distribution. And it's going to take more than just 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 3 bottle. You know, I think just Giselle is mean. Once she is a mean girl. Once she gets started, she won't stop. And normally you're a mean girl when you're super, super hypersensitive. Because I can be a really mean girl. I try not to be. Nonetheless, let's move on. Let's move on. Let us get on to the real meat of the entire episode, which was dinner. Honey, Ashley was calling everybody out. Ashley is a suburban gangster, honey. You don't know what's going to come out of her mouth and who she going to call out. You better be prepared for what's about to happen whenever she's around and all y'all are around. Well, the first thing that happens is Giselle and Karen have a conversation about the night before. Because Monique asked if we can all just have a pleasant evening and not like we did last night because it was starting and then we all fell out, you know, or Karen and Giselle fell out. Well, Giselle was like, I want to address this really quick, or was it Karen? Whichever one, Karen ended up apologizing to Giselle for attacking her business. Because Giselle explained to her, I was really genuinely just asking. And Karen was like, well, I don't have to give you a blow by blow. Like, you know, you're part of my team. That's not the word she used. But Giselle was like, I was just asking. Like I told y'all, I felt like she was genuinely just asking her where she is in the business, how things are going, because she was curious and they were having a general conversation. And if one of your friends is going on a business venture, you do want to have an update on what's going on. And if you haven't seen them, that's what you ask. I mean, I think that was valid. And I still stand firm with that. And I still stand firm that Karen just gets upset and defensive about a lot of stuff like the ladies were speaking of during this conversation. Like, you're getting defensive for no reason. If you hit a dog, it's gonna holler. That's what Miss Sophia the Diva always says. I'm going to put her channel up somewhere up here so you guys can go check out her content. Honey, then all of a sudden, like I said, Giselle just can't help herself. Even though I know what it is, it's really her being blunt and honest and truthful. As a Virgo, I've learned some things we just need to just be quiet on. Sometimes we don't have to bring everything to the forefront, Mother Virgos. Listen to me carefully. Sometimes being quiet is enough. Because she hits her with, oh, why aren't you wearing your ring? In her confessional, she talks about how much, as long as she's known her, she's never not had her ring on, how much she adores Ray, and this is just something that that wouldn't normally occur, honey. And that was all the ammunition that fucking Ashley needed. Because Ashley hit her with, are you moving to Florida? I heard Ray is moving to Florida, but you're not going. That's an implication that possibly you guys are breaking up. Karen comes back with, you know, she stutters a little bit. Like, fuck, like, leave me alone. Get off of me. Like, get off of me. And stutters a little bit and says, well, for retirement, I'm happy here. My parents are here, etc., etc. But, I mean, all the ladies are looking like, well, now, is he moving to Florida to not be with you? Are you guys getting a divorce? Now, I can understand if you have a home in Florida and you have the home here in Potomac or in Great Falls or wherever the fuck you living now, Karen. But for you guys to live separately all the time as a married couple is always trouble. It's always a sign of trouble. We saw that with Southern Charm, New Orleans. I'm going to put my video up here with Jeff and Reagan. Okay? It's a huge issue. You got to be together to be together. As much as possible anyway. And so I just feel like Karen is always hiding something. Like she's real shady and she's always lying. And really she should just be a little more transparent. But we know that she feels like she doesn't need to share everything with these ladies. And of course, she's about 10 years older than the closest person to her age, right? What are they, in their late 40s and she's in her late 50s? And then you got the 30-year-olds, right? Late 20s, early 30-year-olds. So there's a huge gap, and it's a different thing. And Ashley actually makes mention of that in her confessional. She says that I'm part of the transparency age, and she was part of the hold everything secret, it's not everybody's business age. I fit somewhere in between there because I'm super fucking transparent, honey. And so since Ashley's on the roll, Ashley looks at Sharice and says, or Monique, or one of them, and says, well, I'm shocked that you guys are still cool. I mean, or I'm glad that you guys are cool considering, you know, the whole socialite issue and you, Monique, trying to steal all Sharice's contacts. Honey, Monique was floored, did not understand where that was coming from. Honey, all the conversations that they had and had moved past, she couldn't figure out why that wasn't one of the conversations that they had discussed when they were talking at Sharice's home. Yeah, we're going to just omit. We're not going to lie. I'm just not going to tell you everything about how I feel. I'm not going to, you know, address my real issue with you. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's how come a lot of relationships, including friendships, fail because you don't address what your real issue is. And sometimes your real issue is just that you're envious of the way I am. Sharice is denying it to the fullest. Well, not really denying it, but denying it, saying that she never said that she had an issue with the context. But we saw that she did. And of course, they showed the receipts by rolling the tape back. Both Robin and Giselle co-signed with Ashley and was like, yes. Because when I talked to you about it, and because when I talked to you about it, you were in agreement with it. You may not have verbally said it, but you were definitely in agreement with it. And you were definitely in agreement with her trying to become a socialite in Potomac. Like, come on. And Monique defends herself like, my husband's a football player. I have my own contacts. Okay, Monique, we see you. But was your husband a football player in Potomac? And are your contacts in Potomac? Exactly. They weren't. So they do have all valid points, but they wasn't finished, honey. They wasn't finished digging up the dirt because they brought up Kendall. Robin is all like, I just want you to admit, Monique, that you brought Kendall around to get back at Giselle. Honey, baby. And Monique's like, that's not the case. It was Sharice. Charisse wanted to. We was done because we all thought that Giselle and Charisse were good, just like Giselle thought she was good, but we found out that in fact that Charisse was the original culprit, especially when it came to the Hurricane Harvey fundraiser, and then Monique just carried it out because the two weren't in the same place. And when Monique carried it out, though, Monique took it further by inviting her over to the house and getting all the tea on Sherman. So I just feel like they both played a part in it. Both of them are guilty, and you fucking went along with it. Monique, you fucking did go along with the shit. You were really instrumental in finding all the information out about fucking Sherman and Kendall and Giselle. So then all of a sudden, little Miss Candace, honey, she feels like this is her opportunity. They close it out, and she wants to know why Giselle was laughing. Girl, this is not the time. Monique is laughing at her right now, and she questions it, but Monique ends up apologizing because she's all like, you keep talking like you famous and that everybody knows you. And that's not the case. We find it hilarious, but she apologizes and says, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Well, the next day, I didn't know that Monique and Charisse were sharing the suite, which was cool because they good girlfriends, right? They good girlfriends. But Robin meets Ashley at the pool. Candace meets Karen at a little bistro, and Charisse joins them a little bit later. Ashley brings up that she is wondering if she'll ever have a family. She says that she's happy for Robin and things aren't working out for Juan and her little family, but she gets a little envious, like, am I going to ever have that? Because Michael doesn't want to have children. Yes, girl, you going to have it when you leave Michael. Or you go cheat on him and you get pregnant by somebody else. You gonna make me go and fuck somebody else? Y'all too young for that song? But Candace talks to Karen about not being heard by the ladies. Like, she feels like she's being discounted. And when Charisse joins them, they actually give her some good advice and say, you talk too much about yourself. You always bragging on yourself. We are all princesses and pageant girls in our own right. But you got to learn how to just go with the flow. You got to stop talking about yourself because there's a lot more substance to you than what you are showing us. And so just sit back and enjoy it. And when it's your time, it's your time. Don't bring your shit up in the wrong time. Good advice, Karen. Good advice, Charisse. Get her all the way together. Okay. And so on the flip side, Robin and Ashley are having this same conversation, and Robin brings up the fact that she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth and born just like, you know, Candace, where things were given to her and she had all these opportunities, but she's not sitting up and she's not bragging about those things, and that Candace really needs to get it together. You know what? I can see Robin being a little, you know, being part of the snob community, but not being a snob. So finally, Monique goes to Monique goes to Giselle's room and invites her to come and have breakfast with her. And, you know, Giselle's all like, I really value my mornings. I wanted it to be peaceful. I didn't want to come and do this. And she's like, no, I just want to have a conversation with you. And Monique starts off by saying, I'm really glad that things got cleared up, that the whole Kendall situation was found out, that it was Charisse and it wasn't me. And Giselle pulls her card and says, no, you played just a bigger part in it as she did. And you like to deflect. You like to say you weren't part of it and not own up to your responsibilities, because Monique was definitely being shady. Monique was definitely trying to get under the skin of Giselle with the whole Kendall situation. But listen, evidently it didn't work, because you see her and Sherman ain't together no more. And Giselle seems to be recovering well, but Virgos normally recover in private than we do in public. I like Giselle telling Monique, you know, you took a shot, but you missed. I'm like a ninja waiting in the cut, because then I'm going to get you. So that was the end of that episode. I'm sure we'll see more drama next episode. What did you guys think about it? Let me know down below in the comments. How do you feel about Monique now that you know that she deflects and that she really did play a huge part? Or how do you feel, or do you feel like Charisse is really the real culprit and that none of the blame should be put on to Monique? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Ashley altogether? Like, I'm here for Ashley. I'm here for her pulling everybody's coattail and being able to hold her own. How do you feel about Ashley? How do you feel about the lie that Giselle told just so that she could be with Robin? That seemed a little lesbian suspect to me. Not to say that she is, but why do you just want to spend time with her by yourself? Girl, bye. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 3, Episode number 15, Turm-oil in France. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.